Hey, if you haven't done your taxes yet, don't stress out. Now's the time to do it. Certified Public Accountant Shane Stroberg is back to help you avoid the last-minute frenzy. Welcome back.
Hello.
To PrimeTime.
Thanks for having me back.
I was a little tongue-tied there. Sorry about that.
It's frenzy time. You're stressed out about taxes, right?
Every time I think taxes, I can't talk. I get nervous.
A lot of people are that way. They call up and they don't know what they're asking about, and they don't know what the IRS needs, and they don't know what to tell me, and that happens.
And
Taxes do that to
love
people.
Making money, but I don't like to think about it as far as like spending it.
That's why I have a job.
I know.
That's why I have a job.
Thank goodness, because you make numbers easy.
I try.
So
this is the time of the year where the guy who makes the numbers easy gets all stressed out because we got 28 days left before the deadline.
And everybody's doing last minute stuff.
I will say most Americans know April 15th is your tax filing deadline. And if you don't, then you're either a kid and never had a tax return to file, or I don't know how you don't know
your time
that.
is going to come up eventually. You'll be caught.
But it is that time. You got less than a month left, but you have plenty of time to do a good job. You got plenty of time to put everything together and get it filed properly. But the first step to that...
My body's getting hot. I mean, don't take this wrong. Just talking about taxes, I am actually having a physical reaction. Yes,
I've never had a chemical reaction like that about taxes.
Like I'm hot right now because we're talking about it.
You're allergic to taxes.
Okay, so I'm in a frenzy. Help me out.
Okay,
what can I do?
So we talked about it weeks ago. The first thing I said back in probably the first part of February is make the call. Call your tax preparer, get an appointment, get in there and get things going so you're not left in this last minute frenzy.
Right.
Many people don't listen. It's the way it goes. Not everybody's on top of it. Not everybody wants to get it done early. Some people avoid it. Some people do everything they can think of to get out of going to that tax appointment because they're allergic to taxes like you. So
I just don't want to miss anything. I don't want to pay more than I have to, Shane.
That's definitely one of the things I wanted to talk about in this last month. You'll have people that want to hurry up and make an appointment and get them filed because it's almost time to go, which I want everybody to get their stuff together, give me a call, get in, let's get them set up. But the one big pitfall to this last month or the last couple of weeks or last week even is you hurry up to get it done by the deadline. You hurry up to get everything in, get your taxes filed, and you wake up on April 16th and go, shoot, I forgot about one thing. It's too late. Button's been pushed, it's been filed. That frenzy can be a detriment to anybody filing a tax
That's
return.
why I think what causes the frenzy is you're afraid you're not going to cross your T's and dot your I's.
Right, and that's the biggest problem with waiting till the last minute to do anything.
Yeah.
Anything. If you're waiting the last minute to take your kids to a baseball game or last minute to take your kids to school, you're going to forget their lunch, you're going to forget their glove, you're going to forget something. So I mean, your parents have been telling you forever, do things ahead of time. Be prepared for whatever you're going to be doing that day. Taxes are no different. We do have a month left. That's plenty of time to go through all your information, make sure it's all there, make an appointment, get in and get them done. One thing I tell everybody that's calling at this point, do you have everything? And if they don't and they still are waiting on something, I'll tell them, look, we can extend. The first question when I say we can extend your tax return is, well, doesn't that make me look bad for an audit? Am I going to get an audit if I extend my tax return? The answer is there's a big misnomer out there. You will not necessarily get an audit if you extend your return. It's okay. It's all right. A lot of times people are worried about that. They think if I take extra time to do my tax return, the IRS is going to flag my return and think I'm doing something wrong. You're not. You're just telling them, hey, I wasn't ready yet. I didn't have everything
I'm a procrastinator.
yet.
That's what you're telling them.
Or you're telling them I'm a procrastinator. So first rule out there for the last month here, if you don't have everything put together, you can send in a 4868. That's an application for extension of time to file your return. I said extension of time to file your return for a reason, because it's not an extension of time to pay any tax due. If you're going to owe tax, it's due on April 15th.
But how would you know how much you'd owe unless you do your taxes? Why even have an extension?
It's a difficult thing to calculate sometimes for people, but the point is you can extend the time to file it and get them their papers. You won't have what's called late filing penalty. But if you do owe tax with that return, when you file it in, say, June or July or August or whenever it comes about, there could be a penalty for late payment.
Right.
So interest and penalty on late payment. So very important. The extension doesn't extend your time to pay your tax, but it extends your time to file it. You have until October 15th. So you can get out there. That's last case. If you can put everything together and get in and make an appointment and get the tax return prepared, perfect. Get in and do it. The other pitfalls with hurrying to get everything in, are when you file a tax return and you leave one thing off of it, whether it's a deduction or income, what can happen is if you leave off income, say, that is reported to the IRS, slam dunk, best way to get yourself a notice from the IRS is leave something off that they've heard about. If they've heard about it and they look at the return and the
they're
computer,
going to think you are not an honest person.
well, the computer is going to say,
and therefore, you probably owe us a lot more money.
the computer is going to say, hey, I'm supposed to have this much money. They sent me a return that says this much money. Let's send them a letter and ask them why it's different. Not necessarily, hey, you did something wrong, you're breaking rules. Just, hey, why is there a discrepancy?
Nobody likes getting that IRS letter
Nobody
in the mail.
likes the letter with the seal on the side.
I've had letters where it sat on my desk for like 4 days before I had the nerve to open it.
And then you call me, I say, no, it's okay, throw it in the trash. And you go, okay, great.
I know, I stress about it.
Everybody's allergic to the letters. Not everybody gets stressed out
IRS
talking
is like the
about
big
it.
scary man, you know?
They are. You know what? But they're just trying to do a job like everybody else, and they're just trying to follow the rules they have.
Yeah. So let me ask you, there's so many new laws, you got to be on top of all that. That would be one thing I'd be worried I would be miss. What is a new law that you can kind of tip our viewers that they really need to be aware of, that maybe they'll save their money or they'll have to pay more money, but something they shouldn't overlook? You know,
there's a lot of new laws this year that have to do with credits being extended that were going away. We talked about the education credits a couple of weeks ago. Those credits had some subtle changes to them, and subtle changes that are for the better. If you were married last year, that first year when you file that joint return, there's something about, you can live together and you can share the kitchen, you can share a bathroom. When it comes to doing that first tax return joint, there's a lot of, hey, but that's mine. Hey, no, but that's mine. I don't know if I would have one certain law or one certain thing for the viewers to look for that they could look at this year, because there's so many different variables.
And that's why they need you.
So many variables. So many variables on a tax return. What I can say, if you haven't done them yet, give somebody a call. Make the phone call. Get an appointment set up. Don't wait 2-3 weeks, because we get frazzled too. In another couple of weeks,
and then
we're going nuts also.
How do you give 100% and not make mistakes when you're
I probably shouldn't say this. I probably shouldn't say this with anybody watching, but when I am working late at night, I have a stack of returns that get done after, call it my late night cup of coffee, right? Yeah. That stack of returns gets a second review the next morning when I'm fresh. But it's just something that when you're a tax preparer, you're programmed for this month. And it's the month where you run and run and run, and then when you hit the finish line, you stop.
How many new laws? There's like hundreds.
How many? The tax code, I want to say, was 30-something 6-inch binders worth of paper.
That you have to memorize.
No, don't memorize
just kidding.
it. Computer memorizes it. I just put the numbers in. But there was a lot. There was a lot of code changes this year. Some good, some bad, some kind of indifferent, But,
All right, guys, if you have any tax questions, we have Shane on Mondays. Email us. Or go to our Facebook page and see. We have a Twitter page. Go to UT, our Facebook page, and send in your questions, and Shane would be happy to answer them.
Sure.
Before it gets too piled up with our taxes.
Already piled up, so I take a vacation for the time I get to come in here.
I know, right? I like it. Thank you so much. Right. We have to take a quick break. Prime Time. We'll be right back.